CE Shop, and we also have Anya Kozera and Alex Berry with rate today. But we'll get things started with Tom, who's got a great deal to tell us about for continuing education today.
Thank you very, very much. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so I can do this little presentation. Can you all see that?
It says that you're starting to share it. There we go. Yep, now we see it.
We got it? Good.
Can you
Good,
make
good,
it bigger for us, Tom?
let's see. Let's go ahead and go here. How's that?
Much better. Thank you.
All righty. So, again, my name is Tom Horrell from the CE Shop. I'm really, really happy to sit in here and talk with you guys a little bit about this. The CE Shop and HomeSmart, we've been partnered, 3 years now, I think, is something like that.
Yeah.
3, 4
Wow.
years. And what we've done is we've set up a partnership with HomeSmart Connect to kind of give you guys a one-stop shop for any sort of online real estate education needs. So this is everything from pre-licensing through post-licensing, and importantly enough, CE. Kind of gives you one place that you can go ahead and do all of that. I am the business development executive for Illinois and Wisconsin. So if you guys are cross border, we can help you out with all of that, especially since we have CE in all 50 states. For those of you who are lucky enough to maybe spend half the year down in Florida or in Arizona or something like that, again, this gives you one place that you can go ahead and get all of that CE or anything else like that taken care of. The one thing I want you guys to take away from this, whoops, they've got the wrong one here. Hold on a second. That is not the correct. What did they do here? You're gonna have to forgive me for a second here. They've given me the wrong thing. So I stopped sharing, but let me go ahead and give you guys the correct. I apologize. I've screwed this all up. Are we still sharing?
Yes.
Okay, let me go ahead and unshare so I can. I'm still sharing. It says.
Yeah, you should still be able to share.
Okay, home. So I
Multiple
apologize, everybody.
participants.
All right, so the place you want to go is hsconnect.theceshop.com for everything that you're looking for, any sort of thing that you want, because that will get you all your discounts and everything like that. And in fact, one of the things we're doing right now is this 50% off discount for all classes. And I am having major technical issues. Can you see that?
Nope.
I apologize to everybody. I even went through this beforehand, and it was working perfectly fine.
Of course. Are you having a storm or anything?
What's that?
Are you having a storm or anything?
Well, we had storms come through last night, so they kind of screwed everything up. Let me see if I can get this working again.
I know we lost power for our storm, you know.
All right, so we're running. I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and I'm gonna have to send this code and everything to Deborah so that she can go ahead and get this, because I am having major technical difficulties for some reason.
Okay.
But we're running a 50% discount for all CE. Okay, and so what you folks for actually we're doing for all classes. So it's a 50% discount code for all classes, and it's going to work until the 14th. So I'm going to send this code and everything to Deborah so that she can then send it out to everybody so that you guys can take advantage of that. So what that means is April 30th is coming up quickly. So take advantage of taking this discount code, taking 50% off your courses, and saving that money. You need to get it done anyway. You don't have to take the course immediately. You will have all the way through the 30th to get it done, but this gives you a chance to save some money, get it started early, get it taken care of, and that way everything is set and you're done with that. The thing you want to remember though is to use this code, you need to go through that hsconnect.theceshop.com.
And I typed it into the chat, so you
Perfect.
have it there.
Perfect.
And the
So
code is?
the code is, hold on one second. I think since I've got the wrong, I'm going to have to send that. I'm going to have to check and see what that is because I think I've got the wrong code on this presentation as well.
Okay.
I'm going to have to double check with them so I make sure give you guys the right thing, but I will get it to you within the next 15 minutes when I get off the line, so you'll even be able to send it through the chat.
We'll be on the call until 11, so if you want to just hang on here with us.
That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. Let me go check. Let me go grab that for you and everything like that, but I'll send that for you. But if you guys have any questions or have any other problems, again, I apologize for the technical difficulties. Let me go ahead and get that taken care of, and Deborah, I'll send that right over to you.
Okay, perfect. We'll
Thank
wait
you.
for you. Thank you.
Apologize again.
Okay, well, with that being said, thank you for being here, Tom. And let's introduce Anya and Alex, who are going to talk about the IDHA program that is available through Ray.
Hi guys, thank you for having us here, Deborah. So I'm sure everybody heard about this program, IDA. It's been around for, what would you say, Alex, few years now, right? And we had a recent, I want to say, upgrade to it with the new program that we're going to cover as well. But it is a grant program assistant from Illinois Housing Development Authority, and it's providing additional funds, right? And we're going to go over everything. There's different options, how much money buyer can get. It's not just for the first-time home buyers. However, there's few that are strictly only for first-time home buyers. So we're going to go over, I believe there's 4 options that we're going to go over that. And then so you guys understand. And then I'll have Alex go through that. And then maybe we can open up to questions after that. I don't know if we do them very well. We do them quick. And, I know there's, I'm sure like everything else, there's other lenders, if they don't have experience in it, maybe that it's not a smooth sailing and process, but really we do them really well. And some people need it, right? So let's go over this and see if we can help a few more people get in a home.
Awesome.
All right. Okay, guys. Yeah, I'm Alex Berry. I'm on Anya's team here at Rate. You guys can see my presentation, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. As Anya said, we're going to be talking about IDA today. It's important to note that we have a ton of products. We have other down payment assistance options, and we're always running all of our borrowers through all of our options. So it's not something that you have to ask us to check. I mean, you can ask us to check if they qualify or if it makes sense, but we're always automatically doing this for everybody. And it doesn't always make sense for every borrower because, not everything's free. There are some costs associated with IDA and some restrictions that I'll talk about in full disclosure. But for some borrowers, it allows them to purchase, which that's the name of the game, right? We try to convert every buyer, every borrower we can, and we present options and solutions. So as Anya mentioned, we are very good at IDA. We're typically in the top three in IDA lenders. Actually, we're usually number one, but I just saw actually last week that for 2025 we were number three. So in full disclosure, we dropped back a little bit last year, but not for any particular reason. I think it's all pretty close, bunched up. But I mentioned that not to brag, but to point out, as Anya said, we know what we're doing with these. It flows like every other loan. It's underwritten by our underwriters. The process is the same. The only thing that's different with these is we need probably clear close a day or two ahead of time because we have to wait on a certain set of documents directly from IDA that we cannot control. We cannot rush that process. They have their process that they have with preparing some of their closing documents. So it's not a huge deal. We know that. We plan for that, and we get it clear close a day or two ahead of when we would get another loan clear close.
So, Alex, for those of us who are not familiar, what is IHDA? What is that program?
So it's Illinois Housing Development Authority, and it's just a program that has funding for down payment assistance. I'll go through the four active programs. They're not permanent programs because each program has a certain amount of funding, and sometimes they get refunded before they run out of funds, and sometimes they run out of funds and they're just kind of gone for a while, and then they come back. So they have funding. The government's involved in this, politicians. So things come and go, right? They're not permanent, so we have to kind of adapt. And I'll highlight all of them. And it is just for Illinois. Other states have similar products, but these are just for Illinois purchases. Okay, so as you see, kind of what we've been going over, there's four different options, up to $15,000 in down payment assistance. It helps you convert more deals and makes certain borrowers eligible for financing that are otherwise wouldn't qualify usually due to assets. So here are the four current IDA programs. IDA Access, the top one, is the new one that you guys are probably reading and hearing about. It's 6%. It's a grant of up to 6% up to $15,000. That something to keep in mind with this one is it is deferred. The repayment is deferred, which means it is due. The $15,000 or the 6% is due, has to be repaid if the loan is paid off, if the loan is refinanced, if the property is sold, or at the end of 30 years. So none of it's forgiven, none of it's repaid. You can repay it early, but something to keep in mind, there's a second lien on all of these. So for this top one, at the end of 30 years, they would owe the $15,000, or if they ever refinance, or if they sell the property, or pay off the first in any way. That's something to keep in mind. The next one is another good one. It's a forgivable grant of 4% up to $6,000. It's forgiven monthly over 10 years. So each month, 1/20th is forgiven. So then if it's paid off early inside of those 10 years, the borrower would just owe the remaining balance. Then there's another deferred of 5% up to $7,500. Same way. That is deferred and repayable at 30 years, or if it's paid off, same rules. If paid off, refinance, property sold, or at the end of 30 years, the grant is due back. And then the IDA Access repayable is 10% of the purchase price up to $10,000, and it's repayable monthly over 10 years. So that's a monthly payment, $10,000. I believe it comes out to like $83.33 a month extra additional payment on a
So
second
this would be
mortgage.
an awesome program for like first-time home buyers that are needing help with that down payment.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, all of these would be only if there's down payment trouble. The You do not have to be a first-time home buyer for the bottom three. The top one, you have to be a first-time home buyer or a veteran. So that's the only one that's restricted. But yes, you're right. Very good first-time home buyers that have trouble coming up with the down payment assistance. What's nice too is for FHA loans, there's something called a minimum required investment. So to simplify it, on FHA loans, the borrowers have to show more funds than they often actually need to close. These grant funds go towards that minimum required investment, so it often can alleviate that requirement on an FHA loan.
Can you also use these monies towards closing costs?
Yes. It's down payment and closing costs. Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
Mhm.
Yep,
Awesome.
Mhm.
yep, yep.
And this is an interactive call, so it doesn't have to be just me who's asking
Yeah,
questions.
stop me at any time.
You
Stop
can
me at any
Yeah,
unmute
time.
yourselves and be sure to ask any questions you have.
I think that's a good idea to ask questions as we are on the screen, just because we're going to be going into more details, right? Like link income limits and stuff like that. And, you know, if you guys have questions right now about those that we had on the screen, we could go through it really quick.
Yeah, it's
Um,
Ashwini here. I have a question. Just want to understand. I understand everything what he explained. It. The only thing I don't understand is like 6% up to 50,000. So this is the value of the house. 6% they're
Yeah,
going to give us?
Purchase price. So we will be
Purchase.
going off of the purchase price. So the reason they're doing this, right? Obviously, if it's if it's $500,000 purchase price, right? 6% would be what? 30,000, right? They're not gonna give us that much. So they're
Right.
gonna keep it at 15,000.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
good question.
Very good
I
question.
should have clarified. It's a good question. Okay. Any other questions on this slide?
No, I'm
Feel
good.
free. And they're all good ones. Yeah, okay. All right, cool. So they all generally, something to keep in mind, we're going to talk about it too. As Anya referenced, they all have purchase price limits and income limits. And the IDA access is more restrictive in both, and I'll go over that. But in general, they all have the same general minimum requirements. So you guys don't have to know this, but just something to keep in mind. I don't, we'll handle the guidelines and stuff, but just so you're aware, the minimum credit score is 640. The maximum debt to income ratio on all conventional and government products is 50%. We have to have automated underwriting approval. Only 30-year fixed mortgages. And the borrower does have to bring 1% or $1,000, whichever is higher, to the transaction
Okay.
Of their own funds, yes.
of their own funds.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
makes sense.
And there is home buyer education required. It's online. It's a link. It's really simple. We set it up for them. It's not a big deal at all. Actually, probably a good idea anyway for buyers.
Right.
It's not a big deal. It's pretty quick. I'd say hour max
Yeah.
of time. Okay.
Awesome.
There's some property type restrictions. Obviously, only owner occupied transactions, single family homes and condos, 1 to 2 unit properties, 3 to 4 units not allowed at this time. No manufactured housing.
Meaning no trailer homes.
No trailer homes. Yeah, that's right. Or like prefab
Right.
type homes. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're getting into the income limits. Again, you don't try to memorize this, but just so you're aware, most of our counties, I know we're all over here, but like the Cook, DuPage, Kane, Lake, McHenry, Will, I think that captures a lot of what we do. Income limit is 143,880 for the bottom 3 products on that initial list. And then for the IDA access, the 15,000 or 6%, the new program, it has more restrictive income limits. This is it says IDA access home 1 to 2. That means 1 to 2 people in the family. The income limit is 119,900, and IDA access home with 3 or more people in their family is the income limit 137,885. One other thing to keep in mind, this is household income and it's not qualifying income. They have their own income calculator for the max income limits. So basically any income that's coming in is going to be thrown into their calculator towards the maximum income limit for this product. Again, not something you need to memorize, but something that you need to be aware of, that not everybody's going to qualify because there are income limits.
So typically we've got a family of 4, right? You've got
Yeah.
mom, dad,
Yeah.
and a couple of kids. So which
Yeah.
one would that program be?
Yeah, so it'd be 143,880 for the bottom 3, and for the new IDA Access program, it's the 137,885.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
And then same thing here. There's purchase price limits. This is a bigger thing for you guys to keep in mind too. So the bottom 3 programs, 644, 232. If it's a 2-unit property, it jumps up to 796, 816. And for the $15,000 or 6% program, it's 544, 232 for condos, single family homes, townhomes, and for 2-unit properties, it's 696,816. And that's the purchase price limit.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Any questions on that?
So far, so good.
Cool. Okay. So what do the rates look like? Here are today's interest rates. Government is FHA or VA, and then conventional is standard Fannie Freddie products.
Is it true they went up the other day?
Yeah, rates this week have kind of gone
This
up a little
week's
bit.
not been a good week. We don't like this
Yeah.
week and talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, all this stuff that's going on in the Middle East, and in particular, oil prices are causing volatility in the mortgage-backed security market, which is affecting rates. So a little bit of volatility. We're still in a good place. I think, the forecast is we're still good, trending downward. Hopefully, who knows what's going to happen with the Middle East stuff, but hopefully it gets resolved fairly
Right.
soon and we stabilize a little bit with the rates and continue on our downward trend. But these rates are actually, pretty good, especially when you consider that there's down payment assistance involved here. So, Anya, do you want to add anything to this?
yeah, I think this is actually one of the grant program assistant program where the rates are awesome. Okay, because we have other programs and rates are not close to that at all. So definitely great rates. Yeah, I think the best rates out of the grant program. Would you agree, Alex?
Yeah, I would say for sure. Something to keep in mind with the rates for this program are set by IDA. So
Yes.
And we've found that they don't change as much up and down as pretty much any other product. So that's something to keep in mind too, especially in times of volatility. They're kind of more consistent. Just an observation that we've noted. And yeah. So I agree. Definitely the most competitive rates out of any of the grant programs. Okay. Yeah, and then you guys kind of know how we operate, who we are. That's kind of all the IDA stuff. But do we have any questions about the IDA programs? Sorry, Anya, your picture is a little distorted here. I stretched you out a little too much.
I was just trying to figure out what's happening.
Not on purpose. Sorry about that. I got to fix that.
It's like one of those mirrors, right?
Yeah,
looks like my brain is swollen.
Those
Just kidding.
crazy mirrors.
right. So much knowledge in there.
Right.
That's funny. That's funny. You look like a peanut by me. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah. So I think it's important to keep in mind, we go over the guideline stuff just to make you aware. Don't think that we're trying to tell you have to know the guidelines or even really think about them. Just a general overview. Know they're there. Kind of generally, if you're talking to your clients and they say, "Oh, you know, my credit's not so good, but I need some money," and then you can kind of say, "Well, what do you have any idea what your score is?" 642. Okay, good. You know, why don't
That's
you talk to
really a
Anya
low
about
credit
IDA?
score, really.
Yeah, yeah. So something to keep in mind too. If somebody does have a little lower of a score, those rates are the same regardless of your credit score, which is unique too.
Yeah.
So let's say we get automated approval at a 645 score. That's going to be a normal Fannie Mae Freddie Mac situation. That's going to be pretty significant pricing adjustments, which is going to result in a lot higher rate, right?
Mhm.
But IDA, it's the same rate if you have 645 or 755, same. So it's
Yes,
another plus.
that is a very good point because even on FHA, even though rates are lower, with the lower score, the rates are slightly higher, right? So
Mhm.
that's a very good point.
Yep. Cool.
I want to hear how you guys feel about this. You guys as an agents, do you guys feel like this is something that because there's a lot of loan officers sometimes don't even sell it, right? Like everybody has a different or put it out there, different point of view. How are you guys? You guys think that this would help out borrowers? Like you would be feeling comfortable proposing and talking to your buyers about that? With everything knowing after this presentation, right? It's they have to pay it back, right? There is a lien and stuff like that. So how do you guys feel about it? I'm just curious.
Anybody?
Quiet group.
Yeah. I personally think it's great with the low credit score and the assistance. I have a lot of
Mhm.
clients I think that could help with, for sure.
Yeah.
To add to
I mean,
that, oh, go ahead, Anya. Sorry.
no, and then I just wanted to point it out. Like we've had already clients that come to us and maybe they're at 620 FICO score. We can also do credit analysis, let them know really quick what they can pay off to raise those 20 points, right?
Right.
And it's going from not qualifying for anything to qualifying for a whole lot all of the sudden,
Right.
right? So that is another thing that we can do. And then, once again, my personal opinion is that it's not for everybody, right? If some people have the minimum investment that they can put in, I'm always going to show them the two options so they can feel comfortable and they can pick for themselves. But if there's home buyers that really don't have a lot of money saved or can't save a lot of money, right now it's super tough with the economy and how everything's so expensive. People have a tendency to have a hard time saving money, right, which is understandable. So I think that helps out people get in a home, right? And regardless if they have to pay it off in, let's say, 5 years or 10 years, whatever that is, however long they stay in it, they're going to build so much more inequity, right? So what if they have to pay that 15,000 if they gain over the next 5 years, I don't know, maybe 60, 70,000, depending how market goes, right? And they can sell, upgrade, by something else. But I always say this is getting them in the way of getting this first home, right? And then it
Right.
goes from there, right? So,
And rent is 100% interest. So,
and they're
Yeah.
not cheap right now. They're not
Right.
cheap whatsoever.
right. Rent is very expensive.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Exactly.
Oh.
For
One
sure.
thing we've done too, with this is, as you all know, there's certain cases where people are wanting condos, right? But they have low credit scores.
Mhm.
So rather than trying to do an FHA spot approval or find a condo project that's FHA approved, we will work, and if somebody has a lower credit score, we'll work with them on doing the credit analyzer, like Anya said. But a lot of times that eats into the amount of funds they have available to close for the down payment. So
Mhm.
what we'll do is we'll show them the option, and it'll cost X amount of money, but then in the end, we'll have the IDA grant to offset the money that they use to improve their credit. So it's a win-win, right? They
Yeah.
get conventional condo, they get the grant, and they have enough money to close, and now their credit has improved, so they're in a better situation, and they have less debts. So
100%. And one thing I think we forgot to mention, what's even more amazing is I know it's tough out there. Some agents are like, how am I supposed to do that, right? We can also ask for seller credit, so the closing costs on the top of it could be covered by seller. I know it's hard to negotiate right now with multiple offers. Okay, if you guys come with the pre-approval of grant program and asking for seller credit, but with some of the homes that are maybe longer on the market, who knows, maybe that is possible, right? So just to point out, we can use seller credit along with those two.
Absolutely. That's
and
awesome.
another thing we will do, sorry,
No.
Anya and I we call on every offer that goes in to call the listing agent. So if there's an IDA situation or a seller credit situation, we're always explaining why, right? Kind of outlining it for them. So you as the listing agent aren't like, oh man, this seems like a crappy deal, right? We kind of outline what's going on and why they're asking for the credit, if it's okay with the buyer's agent, of course, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then we kind of outline it for them, kind of ease their mind. And, we've been pretty successful that way, getting offers accepted. And I was going to ask you guys as listing agents, maybe if you could give feedback on what your perception is when you're the listing agent and you get an offer with a grant or with IDA. Is there a negative connotation or any thoughts on that?
Well, it would be, I mean, the box that's checked off is conventional, isn't it? It's not like the
Yeah.
seller knows what type of
Well,
program.
isn't there on your new contract? I was thinking, I could be wrong. You guys would know way better than I would. I thought there was a new section for down payment assistance.
Not that I'm aware of. I'm
Okay.
thinking about the 8.0, and you just check off the conventional box and fixed, or, and
Okay,
that's
good.
it. Other than
Yeah.
like Anya was saying, maybe, if you're asking for seller credit, then that would be a blank that
Yeah.
would fill in, but otherwise, I
Yeah.
don't think they know what type of loan, so I don't think that would be a factor.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
And
think that would be a
honestly,
factor.
99% of the time we do not share that they are, going with the grant when we
Right,
have a solid
Yeah.
pre-approval,
right,
and everything, and we don't put this on a pre-approval letter, right?
right.
Well, where would something like this come out is maybe where, obviously through the negotiations or no money and stuff like that, and, sometimes being transparent, and actually most of the time being transparent and honest works better when you actually pick up that call and explain why, like Alex said, right? And those guys understand. But 99% we don't have to disclose this, and we do not on a pre-approval unless, we're asked, or because they have to give some money away.
Right, right.
So
Yeah,
Ashwini
no.
here. Just a quick question to understand this program.
Can you
So
speak up a little bit louder, Ashwani?
yeah. So just a quick question to understand this program right. So basically, we are just giving away, not away, but money out to the client, up to like $6,000 or $10,000 or percentage wise, just for the kind of closing cost, right? Because if somebody is buying 500,000 house, right? So that means, and if he has income of 130 altogether, roughly, so his numbers will be not right. He probably need more money for down payment to close, or he just need $1,000. How he's going to,
Correct.
right?
That
How he's
is, yeah,
can you explain the scenario
yeah,
where
that is correct. So let's say they're buying something for 500,000, right? And they're going with FHA, and that's 3.5% down, right?
right,
So 500 times 3.5% down, that itself is 17.5, right?
right,
So yes, so they would require to have some money on their own, which, we need to have at least $1,000. But in that case, right, let's say we could go maybe with 15,000, right? Access. Then they would need to have, let's say, 2.5 out of their pocket, and then we can maybe ask for seller credit, right?
right,
to cover closing cost.
Yeah.
But they
Okay.
would, yeah. So depending on the price point, 100%, very good question again. You know, this will not always cover everything, right?
Right.
No.
It's just a support for them,
Yes.
just for the either for the closing costs. They are short on money for the closing
Right.
costs. They're
Right.
short on something.
Yes.
Government
Yes.
is helping them up to some percentage of the.
100%.
Okay.
100%. So let's say it's 17 and a half, and let's just let's just say closing costs are 10,000, and so that's 27 and a half. If we give them 15, right? They still have to come up with 12 and a half between
Right.
either seller credit or they have to cover that closing costs and remaining of the down payment. Yes.
Okay. Sounds good.
Another way to look at it
Typically,
is it's just
typically, what kind
additional
of buyers
estimate.
do you see using this program? They
First
have
time
low
home buyers for
credit,
sure.
mostly
First,
first-time home buyers. Yeah.
mostly first time home buyers.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead, Alex. You wanted to
I was
say
just gonna say another way to look at this grant is it's just it's assets, right? It's just additional assets. They're qualified assets for the loan. It's kind of as if they were in their bank account already. So just to oversimplify it.
Right. Right. That's awesome. Does anybody else have any other questions for Alex and Anya?
Doesn't have to be about Ida
It
either.
does. I was just going to say it doesn't have to be about Ida. It could be about any
anything,
any
anything.
loan
But
that
if you guys have something scenario
need.
client that you don't think that we
Right.
could find a home for them program wise,
Right.
anything.
Right. Anything at all. I guess not.
Well, if you guys think of anything, you know where to find us.
Right.
We're here for you.
And they
Happy to
posted
help.
their phone number and
I
email
just
for
realized my phone number is missing, so it's 4441.
What the heck? Wheels are falling off. Yeah, it's 44773-636-4441, and now
Say it again, 773.
636-4441. I've had many years of Anya saying it on the phone. I can hear it in my head.
Okay, so there's Anya, and what is yours again, Alex?
Yeah, my cell is 618-843-3328.
And that is Alex Berry. And he's with Ray. Okay,
Awesome.
awesome. Thank you for the presentation. I really appreciate you guys
Of
doing
course.
this
Thank you
for
for
us
having
today.
us.
Yeah,
Thanks for doing this, guys.
awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody, thank you and have a great day.
Have a great day.